For Gen Xers, baby boomers, raise a hand. Who remembers Schoolhouse of Rock? Great Saturday morning little clip cartoons to teach us about numbers, civics, how a bill is passed. Oh, and the three ring circus, which is basically a little boy's imaginations and figuring out how the three branches of government work. And I encourage all of you, look up in YouTube Schoolhouse Rock, Three Rings of Circus, and with these three rings, send it to some of the media people, send it to your congressional members, because obviously they need a lesson that there are three equal branches of government. There's the executive, the president. That is he's the ringmaster. You have the legislatures, okay? So imagine them, they're the trapeze artists and stuff like that. They're, or clowns. They could be the clowns because they act like clowns too. I'm talking to both of you, Republican, Democrats, and in between. And then you have the judiciary. They're the lion tamers. The judicial branch is there to provide the checks and balances to determine whether bills that have been passed, the legislation that's been passed, is constitutional and doesn't infringe on our due process rights, our basic rights as citizens. But it is also there to ensure that that there is not an overreaching of power by either the executive or congressional. And again, yes, Congress is a checks and balances on the judiciary as well. But threatening to take away their funds, we really need civics to be introduced again. And I implore all of you, go check out Schoolhouse Rocks. It was awesome as a kid, I promise you. And in response to all of these attacks on the judges and the administration and the Congress saying we're going to impeach judges and impeach more judges, the federal judiciary is creating new task force with threats on the rise. Concerns are mounting among U.S. law firms and legal professionals over what they perceive as a revenge program by President Trump, targeting firms and judges that have opposed him. More than 20 Democratic state attorneys general signed an open letter condemning Trump's executive orders against law firms. Now, yeah, that's a problem. It shouldn't be just because it's blue states. Arguing they create a chilling effect on the legal profession and threaten the justice system. But the same can also be told about the lynching, and I hate to say that because it's not politically correct and it would be taken the wrong way, but of the attorneys that were disbarred or were held on contempt and things because they were representing Trump during the 2020 election contest. These orders have restricted access for certain law firms, revoking security clearances for their lawyers and jeopardizing federal contracts held by their clients, leading to fears of retribution for political or ideological differences, like the case against the one law firm that they were trying to say that they could not be, they were going to be investigated and not allowed to conduct any business on behalf of federal contractors, which was enjoined. So this law firm involves the law firm of Paul Weiss, one of the most controversial examples of this pressure, which agreed to provide $40 million in pro bono work for administration-approved projects in exchange for the reversal of an executive order against it. The firm's chairman, Brad Karp, defended the deal, stating that failing to negotiate could have severely damaged the firm's reputation and client relationships. Despite this, legal experts warned that such actions set a dangerous precedent where law firms are pressured into aligning with political figures to avoid financial and professional consequences. It happened during the Biden administration. This is even more compounding. Similarly, the law firm's Perkins Coie is fighting back against an executive order that heavily referenced its past work for Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. A lawsuit challenging the order led to a legal battle over whether U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell should recuse herself. The Trump administration argued that Howell was biased due to past rulings against Trump allies and investigations into his actions. However, Judge Howell rejected these claims, stating that the arguments against her were rife with innuendo and demonstrated a fundamental misunderstanding of the constitutional role of the judiciary. I'm getting very heated over this. Legal scholars, including constitutional law professor Richard Primus, described Trump's actions as an attempt to punish those who oppose him, which he clearly was stating on the stage during the election that he wasn't going to do that. Anybody want to call BS? Other major firms such as Jenner and Block, Covington and Burling have also been targeted, with orders criticizing their involvement in cases relating to transgender rights, immigration, and investigation into Trump's conduct. Many of these firms are now exploring legal options to challenge the order, signaling a growing resistance to what critics call politically motivated retribution. Adding to this tension, Trump and his allies, Elon Musk, anyone, have called for the impeachment of these judges. So it's just like tit for tat, tit for tat. But we're going for tit for tat on the retribution to 2016. Trump specifically campaigned saying that he was not going to weaponize the judiciary against his political enemies or his political opponents. Well, then what the hell is this? If there is due cause for a law firm to be investigated for something that they did that was inappropriate, opposed to the bars, and I'm not talking about like, oh, let's gerrymander the bar regulations so that we can disbar attorneys such as Rudy Giuliani and bankrupting him, or other attorneys. This is a gross, abject abuse of power, if this is what the intention is. And it sure as hell seems like it. So yes, I will jump on that. And I know I will be criticized. Go ahead. I know I have friends that who, when they see this, they will be not so happy with me because they are very MAGA, and it does not matter what political affiliation you are. The Department of Justice, the attorneys, judiciary, we all must maintain that balance. We are supposed to be blind. That is what justice is, and this is not the way to do it. We have been abused. Our judicial system has been abused now since really blatantly since Biden's administration. And it seems like they're just going with the punches, going, well, if they did it, let's do it. Two wrongs don't make a right, people. So in response to these rising threats against judges, as we discussed with Supreme Court Justice Roberts coming out and, basically making a statement that impeachments aren't the way to go. The U.S. federal judiciary has launched a bipartisan task force to ensure judicial security and independence. The threats are not limited to liberal judges, as even conservative judges appointed by Trump, such as Brett Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett, have been targeted. Do you recall that when it was leaked, the official opinion wasn't even posted or published, and it was leaked that Roe v. Wade was going to be overturned? The people standing outside of Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh's house, or the Democrats on the steps of the Supreme Court crying out that you will hear from us, go to the streets, we will bring the fight to them, we will bring the violence to them. I mean, this is how it all started. It's a tit for tat. And there should not be a situation where we have a Supreme Court justice who is subject to an attempted assassination. And that was Brett Kavanaugh. And then Barrett's sister's home recently received a bomb threat. And then people are finding these judges, these federal district court judges, appellate court judges' homes, and sending pizza or Uber over to let them know that the people know where they live. This is why it is imperative that we dial back this rhetoric, the out of control judiciary. I mean, I remember, I want to say it was around 2012-ish, probably right after W went out, former President George W. Bush. I just love saying W. And that there was, I mean, a significant push by super PACs to oust who they thought were activist judges. And those activist judges that they were going after were actually conservative justices or appointed by Republicans, both in state and federal. It's not the first time that we've had this. And it won't be the last, most likely. And that's the sad part. But the one thing I can assure you is so long as we have a constitution, so long as we have that Declaration of Independence and our Bill of Rights, and we have people that are willing to continue to serve this country, to actually serve the country through the judiciary branch, that are willing to be able to stand up and argue why it is wrong what it's doing, and also to stop the attorney. I mean, look at my past shows, people. I was brutal against those AGs that were politicizing the judicial system against Trump just because he had the audacity to run again, trumping up, no pun intended, these BS charges, trying to get a misdemeanor up to a felony, and then for a judge to say you don't have to have a unanimous vote on a particular charge, you just have to unanimously agree that he was guilty. Or what was the debacle of Georgia? I mean, yes, there are fingers to be pointed among everybody. And the bottom line is we need to get our act together, pull it back, tone it down, do what you have to do legislatively, do what is right, but stop the attacks, stop this rattle raising, the saber rattling against judges where their lives and their families may be endangered. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to cool down off of my soapbox, and I will see you here next when we talk about texts and leaks. Oh my.